welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, here we stand in the front of a Culinarian guild, where we want to start a Culinarian job. The last crafter job I'm still missing. I beg your pardon, good madam, but this is the Culinarian guild. If you are here to dine at the Bismarck, one of our waiters will be along shortly to show you to your... Oh, you're not a patron? Might I assume when you wish to become a Culinarian? If so, I wholeheartedly recommend you to join the Culinarian Guild, where one may learn the culinary arts under the finest chefs in all the realm. What say you? Sounds interesting, sure. Wonderful, then without further ado, I shall acquaint you with the history of our guild. As you are doubtless aware, Limsa Lominsa has long been the gastronomic capital of Eorzea. The city's rich culinary tradition is the product of a unique combination of factors. The first is our proximity to the fertile lands and plentiful seas of Wilbrand, which have ever yielded bounteous produce. The second is our standing as the realm's foremost trading port, which grants us access to not only the exotic ingredients from faraway shores, but also the foreign merchants versed in their use. We are, in short, the beneficiaries of a culinary knowledge from every corner of the world. Until recently, knowledge of this kind was passed on solely through word of mouth and was therefore susceptible to corruption and loss. But that has all changed when one man made it his mission to catalogue every recipe of note. His name was Admiral Gurskiv Baldwinson, also known as Must Cleaver. The man's love for fine cuisine was such that, at sea, he would regularly spend as much time preparing meals in the galleys as giving commands on the bridge. It was none other than he who founded the Culinarian Guild and codified cooking methodology. Today the guild carries on Baldwinson's legacy, though the scope of our endeavors have expanded significantly. Not content with simply preserving existing recipes, we labor tirelessly to devise wholly novel culinary creations with which to delight the senses. To this end, our doors are open to folk from all walks of life, including adventurers such as your good self. One may liken our guild to a great pot of stew, and each member to an ingredient imparting a unique flavor. As with every dish, however, adding ingredients nilly-willy is certain to spoil the taste. Before you may take your place in the pot, you must be deemed a worthwhile addition by Guildmaster Linksav, a man whose passion for cookery burns hotter than any oven. Before troubling him, I would warn you that ours is a truly sweltering kitchen. As such, you would be well advised to ask yourself, can I stand the heat? If you honestly believe that you can, speak to me once more and I shall be glad to guide you through the enrollment process. Bring the heat on. So you have the resolve to walk the path of a Culinarian? Wonderful, then you must speak with Guildmaster Linksav at once. This will come as no surprise, but he's the finest chef in Limsa Lominsa. His skill and dedication are second to none. You'll find the Guildmaster up the stairs yonder, keeping a watchful eye on his charges. Impress upon him your desire to learn, and he will surely find a place for you in his stew, by which I mean the guild. Not literally in his stew. Well met, adventurer. I take it you want to join the guild? Let's have a good look at you then. Pah! What's an underfelt whelp like you know about cooking? Judging by them scrawny arms of yours, you'd struggle to lift a spoon, never mind a skillet. I jest. It don't take muscle to be a Culinarian. Hell, it don't even take talent. Least not on its own. No, lass, more than anything, becoming a good cook boils down to passion. You got that, there ain't nothing you can't achieve. So tell me, have you got it? Yes, sir. That's the spirit. Your passion for the culinary arts is plain to see. And you'll be needing every bit of it if you want to become a master Culinarian. Why, if mastery was a 12-course dinner, I'd hardly have finished the soup. Make no mistake, our trade's as tough as old mutton, and passion's the only thing what got us through the grizzly bits. But enough talk. What do you call yourself? Desiree. Well then, Desiree, welcome to the guild. To mark the occasion, I present you with your very own skillet. Ain't much to look at, but it'll more than serve a novice like yourself. Now then, let's see what you can whether you can tell which end is which. I know I said you'd struggle to lift a spoon, but you've won me over. Now, show me your can-holder skillet, and I'll get you started on your first task. As always with crafters, equip your main hand weapon at the start, and maybe put on some clothes if you have some. I see you holding the skillet the right way around. Good. A culinarian lives and dies by his utensils. Get that into your head before you do it else, or your food will look like shite and taste worse. Now then, let's see what you can do. For starters, I want you to make me maple syrup using your skillet. Recipes as simple as they come, you only need two things, maple sap and a fire shard. Josie sells sap over at the guild counter. Now, time's wasting, so get to work. It don't pay to keep folk waiting in our trade. Wait. Every other guild and nin says from outside, but not you. Give me 5 maple sap. And let's cook some maple syrup. And we're level 3. What my servants are we waiting for? I told you to make me a maple syrup, didn't I? Already done, sir. The maple syrup's ready, is it? About bloody time. Let's see how it tastes then. Oh, this ain't bad. Flavor's alright. Consistency is nearly there. In short, the damn sight better than a lot of other novices can manage. As you probably know, maple syrup is one of the most popular sweeteners around, and a key ingredient in all manner of cakes and treats. What you probably didn't know is that boiling the stuff down gets you maple sugar, a different sweetener with different uses. Just goes to show, even the simplest ingredients can have hidden complexities. I said earlier that the culinarian lives and dies by his utensils. Well, that's just half of it. He also needs to know his ingredients, and that summon only comes with experience. Keep your nose to the stove and report back when you're ripe for another task. We continue at level 5. We just got rock salt to make some table salt. Good link stuff. You've come at a good time, Desiree. Just so happens I need your help with something. One of our chefs buggered up an order a bit ago, and he's been down in the dumps ever since. Ingham's his name, and joined the guild a few moons before you did. Determined lad, but don't take failure too well. Anyway, we can't have him crying into his soup, play havoc with his seasoning, see? So I want you to try to cheer him up. And there's not like a good meal to take a man's mind off his many failings. A nice bit of grilled trout should do a trick. 'Tis one of his favorites. Aye, if you was to cook him a plate of that, I reckon you'd find the experience highly motivating. The main ingredient, princess trout, can be had at the higher inn. As for Ingham, you'll find him working in the kitchen. Prepare the dish and take it to him. Happy grilling. Grilled trout. You don't offer that, right? Because they said at the Highland. down here. Okay, I got the fish, and let's start cooking. What is it? A grilled trout for me? Why yes, I'm quite fond of the dish, but what have I done to deserve it? The guildmaster thought it would cheer me up, you say. Well-meaning though he may be, food is not the solution to every woe. But come, let us see your handiwork. It's my duty as your senior to give you counsel, after all. Surely not. You made this? Truly? The aroma. It's delightful. The skin, ever so slightly charred, just as it should be. 12/7, you have thought of sinking my teeth into that crispy layer and tasting the tender flesh beneath. Oh. Beg pardon. As I was saying, it is quite impressive. In fact, I doubt even the guildmaster would be able to fault it. Trust me, I know. But I don't understand. You've been here scarcely long enough to learn syrup making, yet you're already capable of this? Do you know how long it took me to achieve the same? 6 bleeding moons! Gods, am I so utterly devoid of talent? No, I will not be outdone by a mere novice. I refuse to be outdone. Apologies. I thank you for the trout, and would have you accept this knife from me. Use it in conjunction with your skillet, and your cooking experience will be much enhanced. Do not mistake it for a gift. It is payment for the trout, nothing more. Besides, it would give me no pleasure to get the better of a woman who wasn't properly equipped. Now, leave me be. I have stock to take. So we got our offhand item. It's with every crafter job, and the information that yes, stats matter. Okay, and I'm off with a bit leveling. Okay, I leveled a bit. Level 14. Maybe we'll reach 15. Doesn't look that great. Or with the experience from the crafting itself, it might go out. Fine timing. I need your help. Remember Ingham? Well, he had grilled trout did wonders for his motivation. That's been working as of ever since. Anyway, I thought I'd give him a chance to prove himself with a big order for delivery, but it looks like he might have bit over more than he can chew. Now, everything he's made to my satisfaction. The problem being what he's not made. And I ain't talking about a missing tuile or a stray croton, neither. I'm talking about the bleeding main course of grilled dodo. So I'd be much obliged if you could whip up 2 servings in this stead and get them over to him quick. In case you're not familiar with the dish, 'tis one of Bismarck's old favorites. You wrap garlic and salt into a piece of dodo tenderloin, then grill it. Shouldn't pose a rising star like yourself no trouble. And that is dodo tenderloin. Yeah? Where's our dodo? Grilled dodo here. We need the dodo. And we need garlic. The Ghanaian garlic. I'm only making one right now, right? actual free redo. What is it now? The Guildmaster entrusted me with preparations for a sizable order, so if you don't mind, I shall get back to work. Huh? You brought me 2 servings of grilled dodo, and what precisely do you propose I do with the main course? How could I have forgotten the main bloody course? And it's far too late to start preparing now. Damn it, your grilled dodo will have to do. I only hope the quality of the other course and the accompaniments compensates for... By the 12. You cooked these? The golden brown hue tantalizing the eye from betwixt the perfect diamond pattern of griddle lines. The surface is seared to perfection. Aye, over a hot fire to seal it in the juices, just as the Guildmaster teaches. And this irresistible aroma, just enough garlic to balance the dodo's gamey richness, but not so much as to overwhelm the palate. Beg pardons. As I was saying, this is impressive. Grilled dodo may seem a simple dish, but therein lies the rub. If one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong. I could not have produced anything near this standard. God damn it, I practiced day and night in order to improve my skills, only to botch my largest ever order, and then you come along and save the day. You of all bloody people. What have I done to deserve this? Suffice it to say, I'm not pleased with how things have turned out, but you've done me a kindness and I always repay my debts. Listen well, for I will share with you information that should prove to your benefit, to your profit. You know what guild lathes are, I trust? Well, there's a variety that calls for culinary expertise. They're known as tradecraft lathes, and they provide an excellent opportunity to own your skills while earning coin. If such work interests you, I recommend you speak with Timokri of the Adventurers Guild, and on that note, away with you. And that was enough. Waste not. And okay, Master Linkseth. Linkseth wants you to speak with Ingham, who he suspects has botched another order. Well, if it ain't young Desiree. And judging by the burns on your hands, you've been working hard at your cooking. Good on you. You're an inspiration to your peers, lass, especially Ingham. He's been working like a man possessed in that business of a grilled dodo. Not that it's made much difference. Truth be told, I'm convinced he's made of pig's ear of things again. He hasn't told me as much, mind, but it's writ plain on his face. I tried to price the story out of him, to see if there's all that I can do, like, but he bites his tongue when I'm around, stubborn sod. Anyway, I was thinking, might be as he'd open up to one of his peers, and seeing as how you had such an effect on him, I reckon you might be just the last for the job. So do us a favor and coax the story out of him, would you? Oh, and lend him a hand if he needs one. You again? What have you come for this time? Oh, I see. The Guildmaster has you spying on me now. He thinks that I'm incompetent and can't be trusted to do my own work. Who am I fooling? If Master Linkseth thinks that I'm incompetent, it's because I am. With me, it's one bungled order after another. It shames me to reveal this to you of all people, but I've offered one of Bismarck's regulars, the man, Metimaga is his name, has a soft spot for meat mekabobs. And so I thought I'd impress him with a complimentary skewer, only to have his expression turn sour the instant he took a bite. I'll never forget the steel in his voice when he said that he would have words with the management. I meant to add luster to the Bismarck's proud reputation. Instead, I tarnished it. I want to set things right, but I don't know how. Metimaga's still out on the terrace, but I just can't bear facing him again. Not this soon. What am I to do? I talk to Medimaga? No, I shan't be ordering anything else. I see you're still here. Let me guess. You've come to apologize on behalf of a sorry excuse of our chef who made that god's awful meat kebab. Well, I'm afraid the damage has been done. I've been served second-grade food at the Bismarck. It's only right that the man responsible should be dismissed, and I mean to see that he is. Do not mistake my intention. I do this solely to preserve the Bismarck's good name. Were it to become known that Linksav was employing the services of inferior chefs, this once fine establishment would soon fall into disrepute. You have yet to speak a word, but I take it you are not pleased with my evaluation? Very well. If you would have me believe that this incident was an aberration, and not, in fact, indicative of a general decline in standards, I suggest you convince me with your cooking. I will not have it said that I'm an unreasonable man. Make me another meat kebab, one fit for consumption this time, and I shall reconsider my stance. Yeah. Tomato, paprika, and one smoked dodo. Dodo, tomato, paprika. Okay, sir. Where's my meat kebab? The other fellow's attempts may have been unpalatable, but at least I did not have to wait for it. Here it is. Finally. Unless you have any objection, I shall sample it in your kitchen. That way I can tweak Linksav to my opinion with a flavor still fresh upon my palate. Well, it would seem you have made amends for your fellow chef's failure. This is as moist and flavorsome as meat kebab as I have ever tasted, and I have tasted more than I can count. As a matter of fact, I consider myself something of a connoisseur of a dish and know more than a little about its preparation. Would you like me to tell you what I think your colleague did wrong? First of all, in his eagerness to seal in the meat's moisture, he left it searing for far too long, producing something akin to charcoal. Not so with your dodo. Its surface is charred just enough to be aromatic, but the middle is still moist. Second, your friend grilled all the ingredients together, even though tomato and paprika require far less time over a fire than meat. To your credit, you did not fall into this trap. Last but not least, your friend was too heavy on the salt. Those with underdeveloped palates may beg to differ, but it's the harmony of sweet, sour, and salty that makes a meat kebab. And yours, my friend, struck the perfect balance. Which brings me to my conclusion. I was wrong to assume that the quality of your colleague's dish was indicative of a general decline in standards. It would seem that Bismarck's reputation is in no immediate danger. Thus reassured, I shall forget about the incident. Master Linksav has done well to train such a capable culinarian. I pray you continue owning your skills under his tutelage. And report to the master. Desiree, just the woman I was looking for. Word already reached my ears about what you got up to while I was away. To hear tell it, you single-handedly restored all Metimaga's faith in the Bismarck. For that, you have my gratitude, lass, and Ingham's too. I told him to thank you in person, but he's too bloody proud. Don't hold it against him, though. I've already forgiven the daft sod. I don't know what you heard about me, but I ain't never been one to give none of mine the axe for buggering up a dish or three. There's no denying our patrons are important, but they ain't my main reason for being here. Nay, my first duty is the training of culinarians, and even if a good name of his restaurant suffers for it, you won't see me shedding no tears. You know why, lass? 'Cause it's the people that ultimately make this place, and more than anything else, it's their passion for cooking what I wants to bring out. Truth be told, there's only one reason I'd send a man away. If he stopped wanting to be a culinarian. 'Cause I doubt that somewhat has ever applied to you. In the short time you've been here, you've already proven yourself more than capable, and so long as you keep your nose to the stove, you're only gonna get better. I look forward to seeing what you're capable of, and tasting it for good measure. Okay, and one quest I want to do before I end the episode, so a little more leveling. Okay, leveled enough. Probably, well, actually more than I wanted, but that's how it goes, right? How do, Desiree? Been taking care of yourself, lass? Remember, if you ain't got your health, you ain't got nothing. Speaking of health, one of our lot ain't been in her normal soul late. Diving Doll's her name, and she's having a bit of trouble letting go, judging by the grimace she's been wearing. Told the poor woman she should take better care of herself, that she'd barely leave the kitchen for anything. Which is probably how the problem came about, now I comes to think of it. Anyway, if it ain't sorted soon, I'm worried she'll burst. And do you know what a pixie plum is, lass? It's a fruit what's native to Curvers and just a thing that helped to solve Diving Doll's problem. Trouble is, they're bitter as sin when fresh. Which is why plenty of chefs don't cook with the things, cause that's what they don't know is, you can get rid of the bitterness by drying them. Better still, doing so brings out the natural sweetness without affecting their other properties, giving rise to the noble treat that is the dried plum. Now, I would have made these myself, but we ain't got no plums at the moment, and I can't very well leave my post and go and get them, so I need you to do the procuring at the market in Meestead. You can pick the plums in the wilds if you're fond of foraging. Failing that, take a gander at the market board in West Hawkers LA. Oh, and once the dried plums are ready, see that Diving Doll eats them, would you? You might want to avoid letting on about the whys and wherefores. Touchy subject and all that. And we need a dried plum. See them somewhere upper lungs here. Oh, good. Okay. I go harvesting a moment. And I'm back. So let's prepare the dried plum. And give them to Diving Doll. You want me to give you my opinion on your handiwork? Please taste these. Well, my dodo won't need turning for a little while, so I suppose I can spare a moment. Let's go to the upper floor. Oh, these are lovely. What kind of fruit did you say they were? Pixie plums? Well, I never. There's no hint of bitterness about them. The drying process roots them of it, you say? I had no idea. In truth, the only thing I did know about the pixie plums is that a traditional remedy for Now, look here. We've barely exchanged 2 words since you joined the guild, and yet here you are being presumptuous. What? It was all the guild master's idea? Oh, God, has the man no decency? This is an outrageous invasion of my privacy. Unforgivable and strangely moving. As busy as I am, I'm not so busy as Master Linksav, yet somehow he finds the time to look after as many charges, while I can scarce spare a moment to look after myself. I've been working so hard, but maybe effort is not the answer. Perhaps I just need to relax a little. Thank you for the gift. I promise to take better care of myself in the future. Now, I said I only wanted to do this one, but I'm pretty certain I know what the next one is, and I've already got all the ingredients, so I just do it as well. Great timing, Desiree. Just so happens I got a task for you that'll test your ingenuity in the kitchen. Diving Doe's looking a lot less tense, thanks to your dried prunes, but she's still a bit on the pale side for my liking. Woman needs some red meat in her if you ask me, and I want you to cook it. A nice big alt-gold steak should put color back in her cheeks. Thing is, Devin Duff don't care much for the meat. Alt-gold's tough as leather, you see, and it's got a pretty pungent flavor to boot. Islanders are just about the only folk as enjoy it. Safe to say, you'll need to do somewhat about the texture and taste if you want Diving Dove to eat your alt-gold steak. Got all that? Good. Now run along, eh? Yep. As I said, I've already put the wrong stuff. Great. Alt-gold. Let's hunt some alt-gold. Okay, this time the right one. Almost the same ingredients, just a different meat. Well, I'm pretty sure antelope is also red meat, but nope. The guild master ordered alt-gold. Okay, Diving Dove. Your alt-gold steak. You'd like my opinion on a dish? Very well, what do you have for me? Some alt-gold steak. Oh, is this what I think it is? If so, I must warn you that I'm not particularly fond of alt-gold. My evaluation may not be the most objective, but if you insist... My words, are you certain this is alt-gold? It's not chewy in the slightest. You've done a fine job of tenderizing the meat, I must say. What's more, I can scarce make out the pungent flavor. It remains, to be sure, but it's somehow pleasant? Almost delicious when complemented by garlic. Being rich in iron, alt-gold is supposed to be good for you, but its texture and taste leave a lot to be desired. Which is why I've always loathed the stuff. Ironic that you should choose me of all people to sample you. Wait a minute. This is another one of a guildmaster's schemes to nurse me back to health, isn't it? It so is. Why, that is interfering. I said I would take better care of myself, didn't I? Apparently he thinks he knows better. At any rate, it does nothing to detract from your achievement. You've made me change my mind about alt-gold, and that's no small coup. No chef in my native Ulder would have gone to such lengths to make the meat appealing. They would have dismissed it as lowly fare, unworthy of their time. Uldan cuisine is a true product of life in the Sultanate, you see, rife with pomp and pretense. I began my career there, but soon grew wary of all the charlatans masquerading as gourmands. To hear them speak, one would assume that gold leaf was an essential part of every meal. That's why I came to Limsa Lominsa. And thank the gods that I did. Here, the people's love of cuisine is simple and pure, and it shows in the dedication of our guild members. Not a day goes by that I do not count myself fortunate that I have been given the opportunity to work alongside fine culinarians like you. Okay, but that's it really for today. Until next time, when we continue playing more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.